Humans love everything big, be it our houses, families, and especially our cars. Now, we may not have roads big enough to drive them at will, but the idea of owning a big SUV is so appealing to so many of us. You could say that this mindset has been created largely by this car that you see here. Well, not this car specifically, but its predecessors. My name is Sagar, this is the all-new Toyota Legender, and you're watching CarWale. Now we all know that Toyota is bringing out a major update for the Fortuner for 2021. But what's come as a surprise is the Legender, which sits at the top of the Fortuner lineup as the most expensive version. Well, it's not like your extra money goes to waste, because the Legender carries a different, more upmarket design and comes with a few extra features over the regular Fortuner. Speaking of the design, the new Fortuner may not be all that different from the old one, but the Legender that you see here is quite different thanks to its sharper front nose. All the grooves that you see here on the grille and on the bumper have a certain edge to them, and these quad LED headlights give the Legender a unique identity of its own. Move on to the side and you will see how big the Legender really is. Now, I'm not a tall person. In fact, I'm 5'8", and this thing is unapologetically looming over me with its high window line, these flared wheel arches, and these massive 18-inch wheels and tires. At the back, you will notice that there aren't too many changes separating the Legender from the Fortuner. You do, however, get this updated bumper design with these L-shaped plastic trim and some Legender badging, but that's about it. When Toyota launched the second generation Fortuner back in 2016, the cabin looked and felt modern and up to date. But now, half a decade later, not much has changed in here. So naturally, the design and the general layout is starting to feel dated, especially when you compare it to something like the MG Gloster, which appears and feels far more upmarket. The Legender's cabin design may not be to everyone's liking, but we certainly appreciate how well everything is laid out, and even the plastics are highly durable. You can sense that the general theme in here is more durable than luxury, and in the case of Legender, that's not a bad thing at all. What's also great is the commanding driving position you get when you're in a full-size SUV like the Legender. The seat itself is extremely comfortable, and what's even more impressive is the sense of security you get when you're in one of these things. Comfort levels at the back are equally good. You sit high and the overall ambience is that of a spacious, airy cabin. This rear bench also has good thigh support and the backrest is adjustable, allowing you to find a perfect recline angle for those long drives. On the downside, climbing onto the third row requires some getting used to. As you can see, it is some struggle, and once you are seated in here, you are unlikely to be a cheerful passenger because the level of comfort you get in here is far less than the first two rows. You do get some storage spaces to keep light items, and it's not like you cannot use the third row. In fact, you can use them as long as the journey isn't too long. The Legender commands a premium of 2.75 lakh rupees over the equivalent Fortuner, and for that, you mainly get features that are now starting to get more mainstream. Things like ambient lighting, wireless charging pad for your smartphone, rear USB port, and a kick sensor for the electric tailgate. You also get sequential turn indicators, which look really cool, and a black and maroon theme for the interior. Oddly enough, in this car you get a standard 6-speaker audio system, whereas in the Fortuner you can have a high-end 11-speaker JBL audio system. Now that's something Toyota should have fitted in the Legender as standard, considering its premium positioning in the Fortuner range. While the new Fortuner can be had with multiple engine and gearbox options with rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, the Legender is a standalone variant and it's only available in two-wheel drive diesel automatic guise. So it's what we have here. Now, this 2.8-liter diesel engine has been heavily updated to comply with the BS6 emission norms. So it's not only cleaner than before, but also way more powerful. You now get 204 bhp and 500 Nm of torque. The extra pulling power is more than welcome because the Legender is a big and heavy ladder frame SUV. This BS6 tuned engine feels better than the old engine when it comes to performance, and it's noticeably refined too. But it's not the outright pull, but the manner in which it delivers its torque is what makes the Legender very effortless in getting up to speed. The diesel engine is so potent that it makes the Legender feel light on its feet, and it pulls hard from as low as 1600 rpm with a stronger surge as you go past 2000 rpm. The mid-range pull of this engine is superb, and because there's always surplus power, overtaking is actually effortless and you can move past slow-moving traffic with ease. Also, you can change the way the Legender reacts to your inputs with these driving modes. There's Eco, Normal and Sport. And the good thing is that these driving modes actually alter the throttle response, and you can feel the gearbox reacting eagerly or leisurely depending on whether you're in Sport or Eco. Now onto something that really matters to any SUV buyer, and that's ride quality. The Legender simply consumes rutted, uneven roads. Thanks to the tough ladder frame, fat tires and oodles of suspension travel, it absorbs potholes and road imperfections in the sense that you hardly hear or feel sharpest faults. However, like the old Fortuner and the one before, the ride is always somewhat busy, and you will have that side-to-side motion on any surface that isn't as flat as a snooker table. Though frankly, that's a small price to pay for that go anywhere indestructible feel whenever you're behind the wheel of this thing. Given its size, weight and long travel suspension, the Legender does not like to be pushed around. It rolls through the corners unapologetically and will not respond well to sudden direction changes. Worse still, the steering is heavy and inconsistent in feel and requires almost 4 turns to go from lock to lock, making it quite cumbersome in traffic. So that's a quick look at the new Toyota Legender. As a standalone offering over and above the Fortuner range, it doesn't offer much in terms of additional equipment. In fact, you don't get all-wheel drive, you don't get a rear locking differential, and even the high-end audio system. So if you think about it, there's stuff actually missing on this SUV. But you cannot deny that it looks and feels more premium than the Fortuner. And it is essentially a road-biased version of the Fortuner with a lot of bling. The fact that it's almost 3 lakh rupees more than the corresponding Fortuner variant marks it down. But what you do get instead is improved road presence, feature list and cabin ambience, all wrapped up in a durable package that will give you peace of mind like no other. For all the details on the new Toyota Legender, you can visit our website at www.carwale.com. Thanks for watching and drive safe.